The Pharisees, the scribes, had come from all over. They had traveled far and wide to just come and sit. And my question is, what are they doing when they are sitting? They are not preaching. They are not singing. They are not welcoming anyone. They are not making room for anyone. All they do is sit and listen, mark and correct, decide what is right and what is wrong. That is the result of sitting. When you sit for too long, you begin to notice the errors in those who are ministering. Now, the Bible says they came, they sat. Jesus came, he stood to teach. He taught, they listened. He preached, they listened. But in their listening, they were never changed because they were not sitting in order to go out. They were sitting for the sake of sitting. So that is why, after some time, you sit long enough at a place, you begin to notice everything that is wrong. Oh, man. I like this because you are quiet. I'm going to sit on it. Right. I'm going to sit on this one, right? Pastor Papu says we have in the church participants and spectators, right? We have participants and spectators, right? There are those of us who come to church because we want to participate as part of the mission. Then you've got spectators who have appointed themselves as the prefects of how the participants should perform and how the participants should work. They never do anything. All they do is sit and mark what the participants are doing. I don't like the way Essential is singing. Their soprano was off. Participants, you have never been here. You don't know the difficulty of being here. You don't know the challenges of standing up here. But every time participants come to minister, you have the temerity, you have the gall, you have the bravery to mark them down while they are doing something you have never done in your life. They came from everywhere only to sit down. They came from all over only to sit down. Harare City Center, you've got a problem on your hands. As a city church, you are starting to invite and to attract people from all over, yet none of them come with the intention of standing up to minister. All of them come to sit. Let me go to the online crew. I know you are there watching. And you are commenting online, on Facebook, and on YouTube. You are commenting. I don't like the way Reality 7 sounds. That music does not belong in God's church. Sitting and marking, never participating. I've heard of men, grown men, family men, businessmen, opening WhatsApp groups in order to discuss preachers and singers, to talk about the theological accuracy of some sermons. Always spectating, never participating. And I ask myself this question: if you're a married man, a family man, what are you doing on WhatsApp at 12 o'clock discussing the ministry of other men? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? How long? Can't we have men who just, there's not even a single one in those groups who says, man, gents, we have discussed sermons long enough. We have discussed pastors long enough. It is quite clear that we are able to come together. Can't we partner and come up with a ministry? Spectators never even see the strength in their own gathering. Blind to their own influence. Their gathering powerful enough. Hey, do you know how powerful these guys are? They're so powerful, they can stop certain pastors from preaching in other pulpits. Powerful men. But because they're not gathering to minister, they're gathering to spectate. They are blind to their own power. They came from all over to sit and to mark. That's all they do. To come and sit and to mark. Self-appointed spiritual prefects. Nobody appointed you. And I ask you this question. If your ministry is to sit, what text is it based on? If your mission is not based on the text, rest assured, it is going to come a time where it becomes destructive. From everywhere to sit. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with those who are sitting. Here's the issue. It is that they are blocking the seats. Look at me. I am the pastor here. Thus, I'm going to preach to the online audience. Here's the problem with those who are sitting and spectating. It's that they fill up the room so that the crippled can't come in. All right? Let me say that again. Right? The issue and the challenge with spectators is that they are taking up too much room such that the crippled cannot come in. While they were sitting spectating, there were 4 friends carrying their friend on their shoulders. They gathered as men, opened a WhatsApp group, became aware of their influence, and also are aware of a need. And they said, gentlemen, can't we use our strength to help our friend? Let us carry him to where Jesus is. Participants always find ways of ministering. Notice, these friends don't come from within. They come from without. Why? Because they listen to the commission to go. They found him, expanded their resources. They said, let's carry him to church. Left their families behind in order to save their friend and bring him to Jesus. When they get to the church, they can't come in because the spectators have filled the front seats. And that's my problem with spectators. They always want the best seats in the house, but never give us the best of themselves.